One of the things I vowed after my presidency was I would spend the rest of my life helping our vets. I would do what I could to focus on the needs of vets and to convince others to join us in helping them. There's a stigma about talking about the invisible wounds of war. Our job at the Bush Center is to take that which works and make it available. Help the employers know the right questions to ask and help the vets understand how to answer the questions. The pool of talent that has spent time in the military, has been through danger, has come out, and are ready to continue to contribute. There's plenty of help. Ask for it. We need you. Our country depends upon your continued contribution. Is our best days behind us? The answer's not at all. We live in the greatest country ever with a fabulous future.
Please welcome the George W. Bush Institute's Military Service Director, Colonel Matt Amidon.
Vice President Cheney said it so well earlier today when he said we all remember where we were on 9/11. I was a young Marine pilot on what I thought would be a peacetime deployment with the Marine Expeditionary Unit on the way to the Persian Gulf, which was the typical. But as on TV, I saw the second plane hit. Like many of you, I knew those horrific acts would profoundly change both parts of my professional and personal life. And they did imprint upon our nation a global security challenge that endures. However, 9/11 also helped define a presidency, but what it did do as well with true leadership is invoked a tremendous national response that, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of this generation of American warrior. The post-9/11 warriors have stepped up and answered the call, volunteering to serve and volunteering to serve during a time of great danger. The post-9/11 era is the first time that our nation has fought an extended conflict with an all-volunteer force. Since 2001, over 2.8 million of our service members have deployed overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan. Like you, we remain so humbled by their resilience, commitment to the mission, never accepting defeat, and of course, never leaving a fallen comrade behind. President Bush said it best: we have a responsibility to honor our veterans and to empower them to continue to serve as national assets. But he also placed upon them their next mission and opportunity, which is to contribute to the security, economy, and sustained health of our democracy as veterans. And that is our post-9/11 charge to keep. As a post-9/11 warrior, I've had the great honor and the great joy to work for both President and Mrs. Bush for the last 5 years. Now as the director of the Military Service Initiative, MSI. MSI, we're solely focused on a successful transition from military to civilian life. But you ask, why is the work important? Well, we think there are three imperatives to doing so. One is the moral and social, which you all know so well. Very simply, it's the right thing to do. Second, however, is a successful transition is a national security issue and the imperative to sustain and preserve the all-volunteer force. Right now, today, as we know, our men and women are overseas standing the watch in harm's way. But finally, this is an issue of global competitiveness and civic leadership, for with the right transition, our men and women will come home, they will start businesses, they will be successful, and they will fill and lead critical roles in our economy and in our communities. And while every transition is unique, we feel there are three keys to success: optimizing your health and well-being, and leveraging meaningful education and employment opportunities. And that simply is where MSI focuses our work. Who we are is the honest broker, and we do that work because not only is it the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. But as the honest broker, we bring together all of those who today and tomorrow can positively impact our veterans and their families. And yes, the work is complex. No one entity, including the federal government, can do it alone. And so what we do is utilize our unique platform and our ability. We spread accurate awareness and we promote accountability. We convene key stakeholders and we establish a common vision. but not only a common vision, a vision that leads to clear and collaborative policy. But in the end, what's most important is we take action. And we take action with compelling programs that are positioned for long-term success, impact, and sustainability. How do we do that? Our health and well-being program is focused on the invisible wounds of war. We simply find those in need, connect them with care at the right time through our Warrior Wellness Alliance. Our economic opportunity work recognizes that it's not just the next job, but it's the critical issue of the next career. And what are the right steps to get there through our Veteran Employment Transition Roadmap? Our newly established, and we're very excited for this year, Veteran Leadership Initiative works with those who are supporting our veterans and their families, and if they want to broaden their skill set and improve their impact, come to the Veteran Leadership Initiative. And finally, our Team 43 family. Our Team 43 sports programs highlight the service, sacrifice, resilience, and continued leadership of some of our most wounded warriors and their families. So yes, we are about success and transition, but in sum, our work here on behalf of President and Mrs. Bush is about continued leadership. And that's why I am deeply honored today to present to Blaine Smith the inaugural George W. Bush Institute Military Service Citation. It's presented to a post-9/11 vet who has demonstrated exemplary leadership and has continued to practice that servant leadership since transitioning. Blaine, president of Go Ruck, has led on the battlefield. And in the private sector, where he was so good, he was asked to establish a leadership development program. And then as the COO, CFO, and eventually executive director of one of the most impactful post-9/11 organizations today, Team Red, White, and Blue. And finally back to the private sector as CEO of Go Ruck. Famous for saying you can't manage your way out of leadership, but most importantly, proud husband and father. Jenny, thank you so much for being here with him. Blaine, if you could join me on stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the citation does read, the citation reads, Blaine Smith has chosen servant leadership at each stage of his career. He is a humble, effective, and respected post-9/11 veteran who has earned the admiration of all those whom he has led on and off the battlefield. Following a distinguished record of military service, he dedicated himself to supporting and empowering his fellow veterans as they transition from military to civilian life. Ladies and gentlemen, on this day, April 19th, please let it be recognized that Blaine Smith is cited for his service to a grateful nation and for his work on behalf of those who have worn the uniform. Blaine Smith.